What's up YouTube, Redbeard's Garage, and welcome back to another video. Well, I've decided what I'm going to do with the old Suburban. What I'm going to do is get it running for now. I got a rebuild kit for that Quadrajet carburetor. And I'm going to tweak a few things on it, maybe put some fenders on it because one of the fenders got some rust and a dent underneath. So once we get it running and drive it for a little while, we're going to start pulling the LS out of the Suburban. And we're going to put the LS and the transmission out of the Suburban in the 02, out of the 02 Suburban in the 79 Suburban. And then we will, once that's done, we're going to go get a Crown Vic and do the rear end and front end off the Crown Vic on the Suburban. It's going to be a lot easier than doing a frame swap. That frame swap is going to be a massive headache. I can do it at my buddy's shop who has a lift, but I don't want to take up space in his garage. It's not going to be a one-day thing. So it would be something I'd have to pull in and out of his garage, and it would be a massive ordeal. So that's the plan. We're going to go with it. LS swap it, and then Crown Vic front end and rear end on it. So we'll have disc brakes and, of course, all matching lug patterns. But for now, I got some wheel adapters coming so I can put the 17s off of the 02 Suburban on the old one because it's 5-on-5 and that's 6 by 5.5, I think. Yeah, I got the wheel spacers coming, or adapters I should say, and also got headers coming for it. So we'll do a few things to the 350 for right now and drive it for a little bit while we're getting the LS pulled out and all of our parts in. Also, I just ordered some motor mounts for the LS, so the LS should bolt right up in there no problem. But I do want to buy some headers for the LS, so what I'm going to do is pull the 350, decide if I'm going to keep the 350 or I may build the 350 and sell it, or just sell it like it is with the 350 turbo transmission. Thought I had a 400 turbo, but I finally climbed up under it, and it is in fact a 350, which is completely fine. I like the 350s a little bit better because you can actually hold them in first gear. A 400, when you pull it down in first, it'll shift out if you hit the rev limiter. So yeah, I think today I may change the plug wires on the old Suburban and maybe the distributor cap and rotor button. So I'm going to get this thing pulled in front of the garage and start tinkering on it on Father's Day. And by the way, happy Father's Day. Oh, and also I did put the axle all together. Of course, this isn't tightened where it needs to be. Neither is this. But what sucks is I accidentally, it's completely fine, but I accidentally bought the drive shaft a 48 inch and the old one was a 50 inch. So inch shorter on each side isn't going to be that big of a deal. I actually had the wheels in quite a bit, but so it isn't going to really mess up how it's set before. Like, it's going to look right. Now the only thing left I got to get on this is front wheels, or find bushings for the front wheels that's on this go-kart. And I'm not sure if there's a local place. I'm probably going to have to mic them and just order some, and hopefully they are the right size. But other than the front wheel situation, we're all set. I just need to get some nuts for this new axle because the old axle was coarse thread and this new one's fine thread. So once I get the wheels on and everything and find out exactly where I want the wheels to set, I may drill a hole in this axle to put a castle nut on it. Not sure. I'm just going to make sure our local parts store has a castle nut for this thread, and then we should be golden and we can finally get this mother on the road. And also, I did some upgrades to the motor last night. Okay, here's the motor. As you can see, I got the plate mounted. I also got me a throttle set up. Now, all I need to do is run the throttle cable through this and hook it to the back side of that. So it will work just great. All this is actually, this kit you can buy from BMI Carts, eBay, anywheres. And then I got the pulse pump. And I had this red vacuum hose that I went ahead and threw on it. It's a little bit fat, but it's the only size that would fit on this valve cover, so it should be fine. I'm going to put some little vacuum clamps on. I have a bunch of them, but I do not have the size that I need. And then I have all the fuel line to run from this down to the carb and to the fuel tank. But yeah, she's looking pretty sweet with that motor plate on there. It's going to look really nice, and I got this all tightened down. It's not going nowheres. I may need to put a lock nut on that, or a lock washer I should say, but I don't know yet. But yeah, looks pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. So now we just got to get the castle nuts or lock nuts for this axle, and then cut some pipe to fit in here you know, to space the wheels out however much I want it. Okay, one thing that's going to have to go off this Suburban is these huge mirrors. As you can see, these things are freaking massive. So I went on LMC and bought these tripod mirrors. I think they're going to look quite a bit better than the ones that's on it. So let's take out these 5 bolts that's holding these mirrors on and swap them out. Okay, we got those new mirrors on and they look much better. Now we have all these freaking holes. I was able to reuse that top one, but I need to get me a new bolt for each side, you know, a new shiny bolt to match the rest. But what I'm going to do with these is eventually pop it out this plastic and then have my brother put a weld in all of those to fill those up. And I'm most likely going to take all this body molding off all the way down. I'm going to look up vehicles with and without it to see which one I like. So now I think I'm going to get on the distributor cap, rotor button, and plug wires. But first I'm going to do the plug wires, plug them onto the cap off of the motor, and then I can pull that cap and all the plug wires off at once. Okay, I got all the plugs put on this little plug hat, and then got the rotor button and all that junk installed. Now I just got to slide the distributor cap and coil back on and snap those plug wires back on. But first I'm going to pull out this AC compressor because the AC doesn't work. You can see there's some holes in the lines going to the AC, so I unbolted that one that kind of runs across and goes to the compressor. And I've already got this top bolt off right there, and just got to take a few more bolts off all the way around. I can pull that whole compressor out, open up a lot of room in here. Okay, so sorry if you get a lot of noise in the background, wind and lawnmower and whatnot, but I was working on this house yesterday, changing the distributor cap, rotor button, all that. Well, idiot me didn't tighten the rotor button all the way down. I thought it was tightened all the way down, but it was not. So when I went to start it, it broke the little brush off that sets in the distributor cap. So we got to replace that brush, and I'm going to go ahead and put a new rotor button, because on the rotor button, on this little black piece right here, there's a tiny crack in it. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to go ahead and replace that and get this thing all buttoned up, see if she'll start after that. And also, when that broke, it also I think killed the ignition module. So we're going to replace that and see if she works. Okay, now this is an HEI distributor cap. It has the coil in the top of it, and then if you take the 4 screws out on each side, which I think is a quarter socket, if you pull this out, actually it might be hard to do one-handed. So when you get that pulled out, you'll see this rubber washer sitting down in there, and once you pull that out, there's actually a little brush under there. Well, I ripped the spring off trying to get it out. It doesn't matter, this is trash anyways, because we got a new one. But you can see this little brush. It has a spring attached, and the distributor, or the rotor button, hits this, and then gets power from the coil. So we're going to pop that new one in there, and then put that new ignition module, which goes into the distributor cap. That yellow plug there plugs up to it, and then it plugs up to this other slot down in there, and then put everything back together and see if she'll fire. Okay, she's all put back together, so let's see if this mother will fire. Okay, as you can see, the mother did not start. So look at that, got a trump going on. What I found out was I went ahead and tested the coil, because I replaced the ignition module, and I didn't get it tested. The Napa I went to doesn't test anything, so I replaced that and it still wouldn't start. I've taken this thing apart 50 freaking times. So I was calling an older guy I know that knows quite a bit about these, and he said the only thing it could be is this little capacitor that usually sits on the firewall, but mine's inside the distributor. So of course I ran down to O'Reilly's, and I went ahead and took that ignition module with me just to get it tested to see if it was bad in the first place. And in fact it was. So maybe when it went bad, it messed up that capacitor, condenser, whatever you want to call it. They got 3 different names for it, but Advance Auto Parts has one on order. It'll be here at 8 in the morning. So we'll continue this journey tomorrow, but I'm about to burn this mother down. I tell you that much right now. But at least we got new mirrors, so we can sit in it and look behind us all day long. Also got another part in for it. And by the way, I hate when crap like this happens, but this is actually the first HE distributor I've ever messed with, and now I know every freaking thing about them. I know what ohms to look for when you're testing coils. So it's a bad thing, but a good thing at the same time, because now I'm a freaking rocket scientist on these dang things. But one good thing came in the mail today. If I can get it out of the box single-handedly. Let me try my strong arm. Oh. I don't know if it's gonna work. Headers. So I got my long tube headers in. Of course, that's only one of them. The other one's still in the box. But what's dumb is the way Summit packaged these puppies. Okay, they had both headers laying in there. That was perfectly fine. But instead of laying the gasket like, you know, a long way in the box, they had the gasket like U-ed over in there, like bent the gaskets and slid them down in the box. I don't understand why they did that. But these things are probably going to rust immediately as soon as I put them on the truck, because they're just that black paint, and as you can see, they're already getting surface rust on them. So they're going to rust pretty fast, and I'm not getting them ceramic coated. I could, but it's just going to cost more money, and this motor is not going to be in this old piece for long, because ordered my motor mounts today to put the LS in it, and also ordered a freeze out plug so I can delete the EGR valve. I've been watching a lot of videos and how-tos on this. So plans is put the LS and the transmission out of the Suburban in this Hoss. Now I was going to do a frame swap, but that's a big headache, big ordeal. So LS in it, and run this for now. I'm going to rebuild this Quadrajet and make sure all the vacuum lines is right. Take the cruise control completely off of it. I removed the air conditioner compressor yesterday. And by the way, this video goes over 2 days. It's now Monday. You're going to be seeing it on Tuesday. But yeah, pretty pissed off because one little mistake I made caused this whole big ordeal. But wasted my day on today. And when I work on stuff like this, I get so pissed off. I get so mad. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want no one around me. It's just frustrating as hell climbing in that hood 100 times and taking that cap off. I don't know if I showed it, but now we have tramp stamps for your vehicle. So let me know if you would like to order a Redbeard's Garage sticker. We can get them that size, which I think is around 4-inch, and we're also going to do 8-inch and then 12-inch. And we're also going to have the face logo stickers made very soon, and t-shirts and hats. So I'll put a video up here soon as we get some of it in. I really don't want to order shirts. I'm going to order me some so I can show them to you, but I don't want to order no shirts. The woman doing them for me has to get 12 orders, like 12 shirt orders before she'll make them. I believe she's going to handle everything. Just give me what my profit is, which is very small, guys, on these shirts and hats and stickers. Stickers especially. I think maybe a 4-inch sticker is going to be like $6, and I know it's expensive, but I mean, that's what it costs to get a sticker made. But I'm going to get everything laid out on the table, make a video by itself on that. But tell me what you think of this stupid screw up I did. You know, so basically, to recap, when I put the rotor button in, or the rotor, when I put the rotor in, didn't tighten it down all the way. Thought it was, but it wasn't. And it must have lifted a little higher than it was supposed to, and it broke the brush in the distributor cap. The brush looks like this, and it sets down in the distributor cap like this. So it broke that, and it must have shorted it out. I've checked the coil, like I said, with the ohms meter, and it read right, and got a new ignition control module. Now I just got to replace that little condenser, capacitor, whatever you want to call it. So on to tomorrow with this. I'm going to throw the headers in the back of the Suburban and call it a day. My supper's cold on the table, and I've been kind of a douche to my wife because I was mad working on a Chevy. So alright guys, don't forget to check us out on Facebook. We're doing that backup camera giveaway very soon. I was supposed to make the video for it today, and of course I didn't because I was messing with this POS. And the reason why I'm wanting this fixed so bad, it wouldn't be a problem, but it's like blocking half of my freaking driveway. I mean, you can get around it fine, but it's just a pain. We already got that boat down there that I was going to fix for a guy that is complete trash to me. I mean, it needs a full restoration in it. With my point of view is full restoration, but oh well. Anyways, guys, check us out on Facebook. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.